Hearing the verdict, Amina fell to her knees before the villagers and her father, and she started to beg. She even went as far as promising to put an end to her wicked games if the old man's victory was cancelled. But nothing could be done at this point. The old man had won, and so Amina was given to him in marriage. Amina cried, but nothing was done. She was married to the old man who made her vow to end her wicked games forever. Kara was a beautiful northern village, surrounded by tall mountains and lush greenery. Its charm lay not only in its stunning natural surroundings, but also in the warmth of its people. Life in Kara was simple yet fulfilling, with each day bringing new adventures and joys for its inhabitants. Every morning, as the sun rose over the peaks of the mountains, bathing the village in a golden glow, the villagers of Kara would awaken to the gentle melodies of chirping birds and the rustling of leaves. They would gather in the village square, exchanging cheerful greetings and sharing news from their homes and fields. Amidst the bustling marketplace, traders from distant lands would arrive with exotic goods, their colorful wares adding to the vibrant tapestry of Kara's daily life. The only shadow that hung over the village was sponsored by the presence of their wicked princess, Amina, and her horrible games. Amina was the sole heir to the Kara throne, and as she prepared herself to rule, she would while away time constructing wicked schemes to torment the villagers. Amina was known for her infamous games that had always had a twist. She spent most of her days in games of mancala, horse racing, and sword fighting. And yes, she won in every game and took a precious prize with her each and every time. Rumors of her hidden room of seized treasures echoed louder than her wicked laugh anytime she was drawing up her schemes. Amina reveled in the misery she inflicted, her heart growing colder with each triumph. The people of the kingdom lived in perpetual fear, and tales of Amina's wicked games spread far and wide. The marketplace buzzed with anxious whispers as villagers shared cautionary tales of encounters with the vindictive princess. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the kingdom, King Suleiman sat in his grand chamber, a heavy sigh escaping his lips. He was a wise and just ruler, known for his benevolence, but his heart weighed heavy with concern for his daughter, Princess Amina. King Suleiman knew that his daughter possessed both beauty and intelligence, but her wicked games morphed her beauty and made her look like a beast. Every day, while sitting in the palace, he would hear whispers of her cruel games, and by night, a barrow boy would return with his barrow filled with the prices of her victory. This worried King Suleiman so much. In silence, he called a quiet council to discuss his case against Amina, his daughter. Meanwhile, in the busy village, Amina was marching through with another prize, but unusually she looked upset, like the prize had come with a loss she did not prepare for. She moved through the path mirroring her sadness in her steps. Her mind was clouded by emotions when she bumped into an old man, and her prize fell to the ground and was shattered. Her sadness turned to anger and she faced her rage on the old man. He apologized, but the damage had been done. Amina was about to visit her anger on him, but she hesitated, realizing that a game would be more entertaining. She turned to the man and helped him stand up. As he stood, she invited him to play a game. The villagers who noticed what was happening gathered to see what the old man would do. To Amina's surprise, the old man looked delighted. He smiled and accepted the game proposal, telling Amina how he had reminded him of simpler times. With a calculating gaze, Amina considered the old man's proposal. The twisted joy of a prolonged game appealed to her sense of amusement. After a moment of contemplation, she agreed, a smirk playing on her lips. And yes, they set the game for tomorrow. So Amina bid the old man goodbye with her guards. She could not wait for what tomorrow would bring. As the old man walked away and the market square began to stir back to life, the villagers exchanged cautious glances. The fate of the old man hung in the balance, and the anticipation for the next day's negotiation lingered in the air, casting a palpable tension over the kingdom. Little did they know that the game proposed by the old man might be the key to unlocking a change in Amina's heart. In a dark room where the king and his advisors were talking seriously, a messenger rushed in with important news. The room got quiet as the messenger shared a rumor about Princess Amina's recent meeting with an old man in the marketplace. People in the kingdom were starting to gossip about Amina, saying she was up to no good again. King Suleiman looked worried as he listened to the messenger. He knew who the old man was. The old man was a really important trader whose trade kept the village's economy going strong. The king realized that Amina's game would cause big trouble. If she won, it would ruin the trader and hurt the village's economy. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, King Suleiman ended the meeting early. In his tent, lit only by a small lantern, he thought about what to do. He had to find a way to stop Amina from causing harm to the kingdom. The king called Amina to his tent and talked to her seriously but kindly. He explained that her actions could have big consequences, especially for the village and its people. Amina, not knowing the importance of the old man, listened to her father but still seemed unsure. The king faced a tough decision. He had to find a way to protect both his kingdom and his daughter from making a big mistake. Inside the quiet royal tent, King Suleiman tried to convince Amina not to go through with her plan to challenge the old man to a game. With a worried look, he explained how important the old man was to the village's prosperity. "My daughter," the king pleaded, "this old man is vital to our village. He keeps our economy strong all by himself. If he loses, it will be a big loss for everyone." But Amina had a different idea. She looked at her father confidently and explained, "Father, in my games we always bet something valuable. This time I'll make the old man bet his business. If he loses, we'll gain control of the biggest business in the kingdom without spending any money." The king was surprised by Amina's cunning plan. It aligned perfectly with his own desire to own the old man's business. He praised Amina for her cleverness and eagerly looked forward to the prospect of gaining control over the business. With their ambitions now aligned, the king's worries turned into excitement for the upcoming game. Amina's plan promised not just victory but also the chance to acquire the most coveted business in the kingdom. On the highly anticipated day of the game, the village square buzzed with excitement as villagers gathered to witness the showdown between Princess Amina and the enigmatic old man. Even the king has sent his advisors to observe, highlighting the importance of the event. Under a makeshift tent, Amina and the old man sat, surrounded by an eager crowd. 2 bowls of seeds sat before them, the focal point of the game. The old man, with a confident air, explained the rules. The game was a test of honesty and perseverance, and it would see who would grow the best plant from the seeds that were provided in the bowls. Initially, Amina was skeptical, but her ego drove her to accept the challenge. However, tension lingered as the significance of the game became apparent. The old man's wisdom was subtle, lost on Amina in her confidence. As seeds were planted, the true stakes of the game emerged. Unbeknownst to the villagers, there were hidden implications behind this seemingly innocent contents. Now it was time to negotiate the bet. Amina, driven by her desire for dominance, sought the old man's land, a modest request in her eyes. Yet the old man, with a glint of mischief, proposed a surprising counteroffer. He asked for Princess Amina's hand in marriage. The crowd gasped in astonishment, their murmurs echoing through the gathered onlookers. The bet had taken an unexpected turn, leaving the villagers exchanging intrigued glances. Amina, momentarily surprised, found herself drawn into a wager that went beyond mere land and property, delving into the realm of emotions and relationships. The stage was now set for a game that would not only decide the fate of the garden, but also the intertwined destinies of two souls. Momentarily stunned by the sudden twist, Amina felt a mix of shock and curiosity. What had started as a simple game had transformed into a complex challenge involving matters of the heart. The proposition of marriage added an entirely new dimension to the contest, leaving Amina both intrigued and cautiously amused. With a determined nod, Amina agreed to the terms of the bet, her competitive spirit rising to meet the challenge. The rush of excitement fueled her resolve as she prepared to embark on a game that now blended gardening skill with matters of deep personal significance. Choosing a seed with confidence, Amina planted it alongside the old man's in the designated farmland. As the seed nestled into the fertile soil, the watching crowd understood the gravity of the moment. The contest had begun, promising not only the growth of plants but also the unfolding of an unexpected and enthralling story. As the sun bathed the village square in warmth, the seeds lay dormant, awaiting their chance to grow. Amina, invigorated by the challenge, relished the unexpected twist of the game. The stakes had risen beyond mere property, now entangled with the prospect of marriage, captivating the entire village. Over the months that followed, the village square became a stage for the evolving tale of Amina and the old man. Yet, as time passed and the plants remained stubbornly still, rumors spread like wildfire throughout the kingdom. The peculiar wager between Amina and the old man became the topic of much speculation, particularly as weeks went by with no sign of growth from the plants. Peering from her palace window, Amina surveyed the barren soil below with a mixture of curiosity and determination. Meanwhile, the villagers below, growing increasingly anxious, eagerly awaited any signs of life in the seemingly dormant farmlands, their murmurs of anticipation growing louder with each passing day. Beside the window, King Suleiman joined Amina, his troubled expression mirroring the unease within. The lack of progress weighed heavy on him, particularly concerning the age of the potential suitor. While he desired a suitable husband for Amina, an old man was not what he had in mind. However, Amina harbored a different worry, or rather, a carefully calculated scheme, hidden beneath her confident demeanor. As her father voiced his concern, she offered him a reassuring smile. "Father, there is no need to fret. Everything is proceeding according to plan." In truth, Amina had orchestrated a clandestine arrangement with some farmers responsible for tending to the plants. Through bribery, she ensured that her dormant seeds would be swapped for thriving plant seeds that would grow in 2 months, and 2 months later, just in time to fulfill her bet. While the village square remained seemingly unchanged, Amina's sharp eyes remained vigilant, watching every detail below. She knew that her covert plan would soon bear fruit. With unwavering focus, she kept her sights on the farmlands that would ultimately tilt the scales of the game in her favor. As her father voiced concerns and hinted at conceding defeat, Amina confidently retorted, "Just wait, father. Soon you'll see my plan unfold as I've orchestrated it." Little did the king realize Amina's carefully calculated maneuvers were steering the game's outcome toward her desired result, turning the village square into the stage for her elaborate scheme. As if by magic, Amina's plant blossomed into full bloom within the designated 3 months, a vibrant display contrasting starkly with the old man's desolate farmland, which remained barren. Concealed behind the marks of jubilation, Amina inwardly celebrated her apparent victory. King Suleiman, overjoyed and relieved, adorned his daughter with jewels as a token of congratulations for her apparent gardening prowess. The once quiet village square now thronged with spectators from near and far, and transformed into a national spectacle that even attracted the attention of foreign dignitaries. On the day of the grand announcement, Amina radiated an aura of confidence, dressed as if she was ready for a celebration. Her beauty captured the attention of all present, anticipation of victory palpable. Beside her, the old man smiled, acknowledging her charm. With a triumphant grin, Amina remarked that she was merely celebrating an inevitable triumph. The familiar bowls were presented, and Amina and the old man were asked to confirm if these were indeed the seeds they had chosen and planted. Both affirmed, seemingly assured of their success. The seeds were then examined by a panel of experts brought from a distant land to help the king imagine the old man's land when he would win. Their expressions shifted to be disbelief as they studied the seeds. Amina, unaware of the impending revelation, observed the proceedings confidently. However, as the experts turned their attention to her flourishing plant, disapproval flashed in their eyes. Amina sensed a change in the atmosphere, but couldn't discern its cause. The experts were then tasked with determining the winner, and to Amina's shock, they chose the old man. The king's expression turned pale with disbelief as he demanded an explanation, especially considering the lack of growth in the old man's farmland. With solemnity, the farmers clarified that the seeds provided were never intended to sprout. They were used in farm schools to assess the honesty and reliability of apprentices. If Amina hadn't interfered, the game would have ended in a tie. However, her attempt to deceive by substituting a grown plant had altered the outcome. The experts revealed that the seeds she planted were merely replicas, resembling the original ones. Amina, believing herself to be cunning, had unwittingly fallen into her own trap. The verdict was delivered, leaving Amina stunned. Not only had she lost the game, but she had also unwittingly agreed to marry the old man. A twist of fate that plunged her into an unexpected union. The village square, once the setting for her schemes, had now become the scene of unforeseen events, leaving both Amina and the kingdom in suspense. Hearing the verdict, Amina fell to her knees before the villagers and her father, and she started to beg. She even went as far as promising to put an end to her wicked games if the old man's victory was cancelled. But nothing could be done at this point.
The old man had won, and so Amina was given to him in marriage. Amina cried, but nothing was done. She was married to the old man who made her vow to end her wicked games forever. With that, the people of Kara were spared from Amina once and for all. Celebration was in the air as villagers were finally free. All the items Amina seized or won in her games were also returned to their owners. Kara was no longer under torment, and so the villagers lived happily ever after. The end.